Be realistic. Gautama the Buddha said, happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. To achieve long-term happiness, one must be practical. To develop rationality, one should be aware of all of his or her activities. Intellect and emotions should work in harmony. Intellect should not be hijacked by emotions. The story of King Krishnadevaya. There is a widely known story about Tenali Raman. He was a poet, thinker, scholar, and advisor in the court of Krishnadevaya of Vijayanagara, who ruled from CE 1509 to 1529. When he was a child, Krishnadevaraya's mother handed him over to another woman for care due to an emergency. This woman also had a boy. The boy was a few months older than Krishnadevaraya. That woman fed breast milk to both her child and Krishnadevaraya. She treated Krishnadevaraya as if he were her child, and Krishnadevaraya felt that a woman was like a mother and her son was like his elder brother. After a few years, Krishnadevaraya's real mother returned, and she took him to the Vijayanagara kingdom. As a kindness to that woman, Krishnadevaraya's biological mother gifted a few villages to that woman's son and told him, "Those are yours, you can take care of them." Krishnadevaraya was an astute leader, he developed his kingdom. But that woman's son was a fool, and he lost all his villages. One day, that woman's son decided to visit Krishnadevaraya, so he went to Vijayanagar. Krishnadevaraya was considering him as his elder brother because they both drank milk from the same woman. Krishnadevaraya gave a lot of respect to that man. He was treated special, just like his elder brother. That man was watching the king surrounded by all these intellectual people, so he asked Krishnadevaraya, "You have these intellectual people in your court, that's the reason you are improving and have come to this stage. I did not have intellectual people there, so I did not grow." Then Krishnadevaraya asked, "Do you want anyone from my court? Notify me, and I will send him with you." That man demanded Tenali Raman. Tenali was very intellectual and an advisor to King Krishnadevaraya. So, the king did not want to lose Tenali, but he made a promise to that man. Then the king ordered Tenali, "You have to go with my brother." Tenali asked the king, "My lord, if he is your elder brother, then why not send my elder brother with him?" This idea was good. So, he asked that man, "Why not take Tenali's elder brother with you instead of Tenali?" That man thought Tenali was so brilliant that his elder brother would be more brilliant, and he accepted the deal. Then the king told Tenali, "Bring your elder brother tomorrow so I can give him a great send-off." The next day, Tenali came along with a bull. Then the king asked, "What is this, Tenali?" Tenali replied, "My lord, we both drank milk from the same mother, cow, so he is my elder brother." King Krishnadevaraya understood that his decision to send Tenali with that man was emotional, not intellectual. Moral: King Krishnadevaraya understands his intellect is dominated by emotions, and for the king, this is not right. Fear is the obstacle to happiness and enlightenment. Of course, a certain amount of fear is necessary for protecting our bodies. For example, suppose you are driving a vehicle and any animal or anything else comes in the way. Automatically, fright and flight responses occur. You get frightened, and your leg will break. At a certain level, it's okay, but if fear always occurs, then it is considered a negative emotion. According to Abraham Maslow's need hierarchy theory, people work solely to meet their own needs. It may be basic needs, security and safety needs, belonging needs, esteem needs, or self-actualization needs. If pressure is greater than resources, tongue sticking out, people feel stress and that leads to fear and anxiety. Fear of losing possessions or people, as well as fear of ending relationships. As long as we are not free from fear and anxiety, liberation cannot occur. Even great yogis feel fear. Yogis think, "I have left everything and I am doing a lot of hard work before I get enlightened in this lifetime. If I do not attain enlightenment, then I have to go again to the Himalayas and start austerity and meditation." Therefore, everybody gets fear, only the type of fear differs. The story of Yogi and the young man. In the past, there was a great yogi living in the cave of a mountain. He was never afraid of wild animals. In that area, he was very well known. A young man who wanted to learn a few spiritual techniques decided to meet the great yogi. After the yogi completed his meditation inside the cave, he came out of the cave. A lion roared. The young man became terrified and jumped to the other side. Yogi laughed at the young man. The young man replied, "I am not an adept like you, I am a common man." Yogi has a habit of sitting on a rock just before the cave as soon as he gets outside. The young man took out a piece of chalk and wrote a few slokas from religious literature. When the yogi approached that rock and tried to sit on it, he saw the mantra and shloka on it, but he couldn't move his leg forward. He was afraid to keep his leg on that rock because slokas were written on it. Moral of the story: Yogi was not afraid of wild animals, but he was afraid of religious words. Fear of death. Many people have a fear of death because of a lack of awareness about life and self. A man asked the sun, "You are helping the world, it is great work, but why are you treating the darkness unfairly?" The sun replied, "I have no enemies at all, in this solar system, I am helping them all. I can also help the darkness, but I haven't come across it yet." Moral of the story: similarly, light and darkness never meet, and death and life never meet. Once a person understands this concept, they can focus more on making life happy rather than just accumulating things and pleasing people. Pleasure versus happiness. People often confuse pleasure with happiness. In fact, they are different things. Pleasure is primarily related to the five senses: visual, seeing, auditory, listening, kinesthetic, feeling, olfactory, smelling, and gustatory, tasting. Sometimes you want to maintain your fitness and also want to eat ice cream. While eating it, you will get pleasure, but inside, will you get happiness? Certainly not. Even though you are not on a diet and are perfectly healthy, how long will the pleasure of eating ice cream last? Whatever we experience on the sensory level won't give us lasting happiness. What is the difference between human beings and animals? Are we human beings or human doings? Do you want to know the deeper meaning of life, or do you want to do what most people do? It's time to ponder over it. Unless we go beyond sensory pleasure, we can tell that there is no difference between humans and animals. In the summer, for example, to avoid heat, one may turn on a fan, another may turn on an air conditioner, and another may simply walk along the beach or along the riverbank. Even buffaloes sit in the pond and enjoy themselves. All are experiencing the sense of touch. So, whether a person is wealthy or impoverished, true happiness is impossible to achieve through the five senses. As we have accumulated wealth and materialistic things, have they made us happier? If these materialistic things have not made us happy until now, then what is the guarantee that they will make us happy in the future? Buddha and Mahavir were both kings. If their palaces and kingdoms didn't bring them happiness, then how will we find happiness? Conclusion: as long as human beings do not think beyond the five senses, happiness will be dominated by pleasure. A few years before, I attended a webinar in which the speaker said that growth is happiness. If we grow means we get happiness. He was explaining that there is spiritual growth, professional growth, and personal growth. Is this true? Happiness never comes from growth. As far as growth is concerned, it is a continuous process, while happiness is a choice. This universe is perfect. As soon as we feel the imperfection, we are bound to suffer. What happens in enlightenment? Enlightenment allows a person to see things as they are. In other words, it is the process of oneness. Similarly, prayer gives happiness because, in prayer, a person completely surrenders to God. It is also a state of oneness. When people follow karma yoga as per the instruction given by Lord Krishna, karmanai vadhikaraste ma fail shukata chana, without expectation, just performing our duties means universal karma becomes individual karma, and it is also oneness. Non-attachment, or seeing things as they are, is also one type of oneness discussed by Buddha. Jesus Christ said, love and compassion. It is also another dimension of oneness. Conclusion: without attaining oneness, real happiness is not possible. Does Gautama the Buddha talk negatively about life? Buddha never mentioned happiness as a goal in life. Instead, he said, there is suffering in life. In his Four Noble Truths, he mentioned dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, and magga. It means the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the end of the suffering, and the truth of the path that liberates us from suffering. If happiness is the only purpose of life, then one can eat anything, drink anything, and behave in any manner. What is the distinction? Then what is the use of Buddha's Astanga Marga or the Eightfold Path? Conclusion: Eightfold Path is not just for happiness but to come out of misery. Buddha did not use negative terminology. In fact, this is the only right way to attain happiness. Financial freedom. Once there was a king who went hunting and lost his way. He was struggling to find the way back to the palace. He was very hungry and thirsty. His sight went to a small hut, and along with his few soldiers, he went near the hut. An old man was doing some spiritual practices there. The king asked for something edible from that old man. The old man took out his lantern lamp and prayed for it to serve food. As soon as he prayed to the lantern lamp, an angel appeared, and much delicious food was given to the king and his soldiers. The king was very much satisfied with the food. But he became jealous of the old man. He asked, if you are staying alone here, this lamp is not essential for you. I am king, and, in my kingdom, thousands of people are there, so give me this lamp. This lamp is only listening to me, no one else, the old man replied. The king snatched the lamp from the old man. But the lamp became inactive for the king. The king had a lot of wealth and everything that was needed for him and his kingdom, but he was still unsatisfied and snatched the lamp from the old man. Do you believe the king felt financially liberated? Certainly not. Once, I met one of my friends. He was working in a very senior level position. His earnings were very good. He received a monthly salary of 3.5 lakhs rupees. I noticed that he was not financially free. He had 2 houses and then purchased a third and got into a financial crisis. Also, I had seen someone earning 10,000 rupees per month who was financially independent. Although it does not imply that anyone earning 10,000 rupees per month is financially independent, there is a possibility that one might be. Because financial freedom is a state of mind. The majority of people I found study wealth creation, but how many study financial freedom? Many people want financial freedom but study how to get more wealth, which indicates their actions and thoughts are not in alignment with what they wish for. In order to be happy, it is necessary for us to understand this concept about how we experience reality. In this diagram, you will see the reality, or world. We experience reality through the 5 senses. Auditory, visual, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. Visual means seeing, auditory means listening, kinesthetic means touching or feeling, olfactory means smelling, and gustatory means tasting. Through the neurons, the information reaches the brain. Deletion, distortion, and generalization happen through 3 universal modeling processes. Next is the map, or our model of reality. It contains values, beliefs, attitudes, and a metaprogram. Finally, information comes out through verbalization. Verbalization is 4 steps away from reality. Our map is also 3 steps away from reality. We do not stay in our original reality, we stay in our own reality. If neither I nor you stay in reality, then why should we disagree with others' views? Just accept and respect their model of reality. Let me simplify this concept using a metaphor. Imagine that I am donning green-colored glasses and you are donning red-colored glasses. You will see the world in red, while I see it in green. What should we do to better understand each other? I must first remove my spectacles before wearing another red spectacle. Only then can I comprehend other people's points of view, how they think and why they think that way. Conclusion: we do not stay in the original reality, we stay in our reality, so we must accept the other's map or model of reality and avoid conflict, so we can experience a happy mental state. The Merchant and His 4 Wives story. I'd like to share a popular story about a merchant with 4 wives. A merchant had 4 wives, fell seriously ill, and was about to die. Having been scared to go into the afterlife alone, he asked his 4th wife, whom he loved the most and for whom he purchased diamonds, gold, and elegant clothing, "Would you die with me and go to the afterlife with me?" She replied with an apology, saying that she could not do that, and walked away. He was very proud of his loving 3rd wife, and he had taken her to neighboring territories. He asked her the same question, "Would you accompany me into the afterlife?" She replied that she loved her life too much and could not go with him, and she would remarry when he died. He asked his 2nd wife to accompany him to the afterlife because she had always been there for him in his time of need. The 2nd wife apologized that she was unable to help him this time but would arrange his funeral and attend. In the end, he recognized his 1st wife and realized he had paid the least attention to her. A voice shouted, "I'll follow you wherever you go, even in the afterlife." This was the wife he had paid the least attention to. As a result, he felt embarrassed and said he should have given her more attention when he was alive and treated her better. The moral of the story: a 4th wife is our body, which we often decorate with fancy clothes, stimulating hairstyles, and enticing jewelry, but which, at the end of the day, can't follow us into eternity. In fact, our 3rd wife is our possessions, our property, our car, our house, our gold, and our precious stones, but in the next life they will not be given to us and divided. The 2nd wife is our family and friends. We trust them, they're always there for us in times of need, but they can only attend our funerals to say goodbye. It is our 1st wife who represents our soul. We neglect taking care of our souls, which we carry with us to the afterlife. Explanation: few religions, like Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, and Jain, believe in the soul, or Atman. Mahavir was a Jain Tirthankara, which meant he believed in the soul but not in God. In contrast, Gautama the Buddha did not believe in God or the soul. Also, he did not deny it. He was practical. He was neither a theist nor an atheist. The belief systems of cultures vary, so some may believe in the soul and others may disbelieve it, but at the end of the day, the search for truth is crucial, and the focus must be on the permanent rather than the transitory. The search for permanence and truth leads to happiness and immortality. $1,000,000 questions. 1. If soul is going with you, then who you are? 2. If you are listening to the soul, does that mean you are different from the soul? 3. If you watch the soul, means you are an observer, means you are different from soul. 4. If you consider yourself as soul, then how do you see yourself? 5. An object can be seen by the eye, but can the eye be seen by the eye itself? 6. Ask question for yourself: who am I? Conclusion: to avoid the complications, we can say that working for what is permanent and the truth takes us to higher dimensions and makes us happy. The moment we start working on permanent, we are entering into the ocean of happiness. Dr.Bharat, Chaugule. Question 1. Points to ponder, takeaway. Question 2. How can you use this takeaway in your day-to-day life? $1,000,000 questions. Question 1. What is the goal of human life: to get happiness or overcome the misery? Question 2. Everyone wants happiness. But why we want happiness? The journey from mortality to immortality begins when you contemplate this question. If you need more help on your happiness and spiritual journey, join our Self-Leadership Mastery Program. For more information, email darylsuccess@gmail.com.